before I was a platoon sergeant. That's the truth, and that's hard to do. You don't hear about that very often.
Yeah, yeah, good leadership
Yep,
skills.
I was in the Army just about a year before I became a platoon sergeant. Yeah.
Did you ever think when you were a kid that you would want to be a soldier?
No,
Mm-mm.
never thought about it until I got my draft notice.
And suddenly off you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, no, I never thought about going in the service. No, not one bit.
Mm.
I was happy. I had as soon as I got out of high school, I had a good job at the Calvert Distilling. I worked for the Maryland Distilling Company first,
Mm-hmm.
and that soon after I was hired by them, it became the Calvert Distilling Company, and then it became Seagram sometime after that. But yeah, I had a good job. I'm 19 years old, and I'm making $18 a week. Believe it or not, I was making 45 cents an hour, and that was good money. Honestly, it was good. I had friends over there who were married, and they were making a nickel less. They were making 40 cents an hour. And I knew people who were working for 25 cents an hour, not for Seagram or Calvert, but for the people who were building that plant.
Yeah. That's during the height of the Depression era too. It's the
Well,
early
it was in
1930s.
1935,
Yeah.
36, 37. Things were tight. It was really tough. But 45 cents an hour was good money. $18 a week for a kid.
Hey, can you tell me? I want to speed ahead. Not only you've done well back then, 1988 and subsequent to that time, you've made visits back to Normandy, and you've had some
Yes.
nice things happen to you. Can you share them?
The first time I went back to Normandy was in 1988. Yes, in 88. That was at the 50th anniversary.
I think there may have been a dedication ceremony at the Vierville Draw.
That was.
That's
right.
Got
They
you back?
dedicated a monument and a Vierville draw in 1988. And I have some good pictures of that too.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time that I went back to Normandy.
How was that for you, going back for the first time?
Good. I liked it because we went to England first. We spent maybe a week in England and then went over to Normandy. And it was a real nice trip. I enjoyed it very much.
Good.
Didn't see, I think we did get down to Plymouth. That was close to St. Ives, where I've spent most of my time in England. But then I met a lot of real nice English fellows who had been in the Army in England, Navy, you know. And I kept in contact with them after I met them in 88.
Mm.
Let's see, we would write back and forth, you know, drop notes, and then I saw them again a couple years later. I went back, I don't know how many times I've been back there. I know in the last 5 years I've been back 5 times. For the last 5 years I went back every year.
That's great.
Yeah. And last year I had a good visit over there last year because I know quite a few French people in Normandy, and I write to them, they write to me, and every time I go back there I visit with them, and they're real nice. The people in Normandy are nice, good to Americans. And but you get out of Normandy, get around Paris, it's a little bit different, you know. They don't care much for American soldiers.
Well,
But,
yeah, I think that your experiences were great. Well, as we close off this final portion of it, and we'll go to taking a look at some of your stuff
Okay.
next. Just want to ask, any final thoughts about being a soldier, about your experiences with the 29th year?
yeah.
A wonderful
Well,
history, Bill.
I had a good experience as a soldier. I did, because I guess I did what was right. Maybe I was a book soldier. I think I was. But the main thing is trying to get along with your subordinates. If you have their respect, you don't have any problems at all in the service. And I never had any problems. Only one time did I ever have to fight in the service, and that was right before the invasion. We got some replacements in, I remember they were artillery. These guys had been in the artillery, and they had red braid on their caps, you know. And we'd fall out several times, and I told them once, I said, look, you're in the infantry now, you get that red off and put some blue up there, baby blue. And they didn't do it. A couple of times later, I said, yeah, next time I see you, you get that braid off of there and get some blue up there. Who's going to take it off? That's what they threw at me. Who's going to take it off? It was up to me. And that's the only time I ever had a fight in the service. One of these artillery guys, yeah, who's going to take the braid off? But that's the only time I got along real well with everybody. And I think that's why I went up so fast, because I could handle the troops. Platoon was always happy, and that's the main thing that the platoon sergeant has to do. He's got to keep the men happy. That's all. I can't think of the word I want to use to come out, but the morale of the platoon. That's what you're responsible for. If you can keep the men happy, that's all that matters. You'll have no trouble.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your history with us today.
Well, you're very welcome, Bob. And I don't regret being in the service. I'm glad that I did. It was the best. It was the highlight of my life. It really was. And every soldier who was in World War II will tell you that too. You know, all my friends, that was the best part of their life. Not the best part, but it was a highlight in there, you know. So, I don't regret it one bit. I'm glad I went through it. I don't know if I volunteer for it again, but I'm glad that I've served in the service, and
thank you.
No regrets.
Thank you very much, Bill.